Update. If you update something, you change it from something old to something new. This word is often used for homes, clothing, cars, offices, stores, websites, etc. They're updating their office with new carpeting and new furniture. Tanya's kitchen hasn't been updated in years. Jim needs to update his wardrobe. I need to update my calendar. This website is updated daily. The examples above use the word update as a verb, but you can use it as a noun too. Can you give me an update on the situation? Your computer needs to check for updates on a regular basis. There's a new update for this program if you want to download it. A news update provided the latest information about a big storm approaching our area. Upgrade. An upgrade is an improvement. This word has gained popularity in recent years when a business or an individual wants to improve something that exists. The word upgrade also refers to a better offer for a customer. The hotel offered us an upgrade on our hotel room. The airline offered us an upgrade on a flight to New York. An upgrade is available if we want to rent a car that's a little nicer. A free upgrade is available for this computer program. Check to see what kinds of upgrades there are. This word is often used as a verb. Todd really needs to upgrade his wardrobe. You should upgrade your computer's operating system to something that's newer. The furniture in the office needs to be upgraded. Would you like to upgrade your reservation? We upgraded to first class. Uphold. To uphold something is to support it, enforce it, or honor it. This verb is often used when talking about the law and agreements. The simple form of the verb is uphold. The past tense is upheld. The past participle is upheld. Police officers uphold the law. If laws are not upheld, criminals will feel free to commit crimes. Laws are upheld in a court of law, presided over by a judge or a group of judges. A country's military upholds the defense of its people. If you enter into an agreement with someone, you're expected to uphold your side of the deal. People who don't uphold their side of a deal may be in breach of a contract. I entered into an agreement with someone and I upheld my side of the bargain. Are you willing to uphold your side of an agreement? Upkeep. The word upkeep is a noun. It's similar to the word maintenance. This old house requires a lot of upkeep. The upkeep for their cabin became too expensive, so they sold it. Upkeep costs for old buildings are high. The city didn't want to continue paying for the upkeep of the park, so they sold it to a private developer. Neglecting the upkeep of highways, bridges, and roads will result in higher costs later on. Uplift. Use the word uplift when a person is made to feel good about something, usually during a period of celebration or following a time in which someone might feel bad. The adjective form of this word is uplifting. This is a fairly common word to use when someone or something provides inspiration to others. The politician gave an uplifting speech to his supporters. Events leading up to Christmas Day offer uplifting experiences for all who participate in them. The minister gave an uplifting sermon to the congregation. Jamal and his family enjoyed a spiritually uplifting Eid this year. I find the music of the Beatles to be very uplifting. You can also use this word as a verb, although it is not as common as the adjective form. Coach Benson tried to uplift the spirits of his team after a heartbreaking loss. The musical performance by the choir uplifted the audience and put everyone in the mood for the holidays. Uplift your hearts and rejoice. Upper. The word upper is an adjective that means higher or highest. It's almost always used in front of a noun. The opposite of upper is lower. The leftover food is on the upper shelf in the refrigerator. The store you are looking for is on the upper level of the mall. The upperclassmen at the school, the juniors and the seniors, have certain privileges that the other students don't have. She has sort of an upper class accent. They consider themselves to be in the upper middle class. Who do you think has the upper hand in this situation? The rooms on the upper floors of the hotel are not as nice as those on the lower floors. The houses in this upper income neighborhood sell for well over $1 million each. Upset. The word upset has many different shades of meaning as an adjective. It could mean that a person is angry, troubled, worried, or in pain. Bertha's upset because her computer isn't working properly. John is upset because his kids aren't listening to him. The visitors to the refugee camp were upset by the sight of starving children. Ken was upset by the news of his mother's death. The sudden change of weather upset our plans to go to the beach. My stomach is upset. Urge. The word urge is used when there's a strong feeling or a strong motivation. In some cases, urge is similar to the words want or need. In these sentences, the word urge is a noun. He has a strong urge to join the military. The students have an urge to do well on their tests. Katrina is fighting the urge for a cigarette. Bob felt an urge to buy some ice cream. The urge to speed on an empty highway was the reason Chris got a speeding ticket. In these sentences, the word urge is a verb. Mr. Johnson is urging his employees to get flu shots this year. The government is urging people to sign up for health insurance if they don't have it already. Wally's parents urged him to take the job that was offered to him. Maria always urges her children to do their best in school. I urge you to start taking your schoolwork more seriously. The word urgent is an adjective. She has an urgent need to use the restroom. Urgent pleas for help could be heard from the people trapped in the building. The increasing pain from a toothache made a trip to the dentist more urgent. Urgent. The word urgent is an adjective that describes something that is very important. It's often used in situations that need immediate attention. I received an email marked urgent from my supervisor, so I opened it right away. The little boy has an urgent need to use the bathroom. Is this really urgent? Can we wait to do this later? The CEO canceled a meeting because he had an urgent personal matter to attend to. The group sent out an urgent message requesting some help. People in Puerto Rico have an urgent need for food and water following a devastating hurricane. The verb form of this word is urge. We use urge when making a strong recommendation. Marta urged her son not to drop out of college. I urge you to consider adding more insulation to your attic. You'll save a lot of money on heating bills. The government is urging everyone who lives next to the river to move to higher ground. Urine. The yellow liquid excreted from your body when you go to the bathroom is called urine. There are other words for it, such as pee or piss. But urine is a more polite word, and it's the word that's usually used in a doctor's office or a hospital. The doctor asked the patient to produce a urine sample. The color of urine is usually yellow, but the color can vary depending on what a person eats or drinks. A drug test can detect small traces of illegal drugs in urine. Urine can produce a strong odor. A bathroom that isn't cleaned regularly will smell like urine. The word urinate is a verb. The word urination is a noun. Urination is an important bodily function. You eliminate waste from your body when you urinate. Walter complained to the doctor that he experiences pain when he urinates. Painful urination can indicate a health problem. It's illegal in most cities in the United States to urinate in public. Most people urinate in a toilet. In a men's bathroom, urinals are lined up against the wall. The urinal is the place where boys and men urinate. Use. If you follow the word of the day section on this website, you have heard the word use when referring to how a word can function in a sentence as a verb, a noun, an adjective, etc. In these sentences, I'll show some other ways to use use. The simple form for this verb is use. The past tense is used, and the past participle is used. I use my car to get to work. Sometimes I use the bus or my bike. What do you use for transportation? Many people these days use a cell phone for making phone calls and browsing the internet. Do you use Twitter or Facebook? Many teachers these days use computers when they teach a class. I used to use a chalkboard when I first started teaching. Now I use a whiteboard. It's very common to hear the word use when talking about cooking and eating. Bob uses a lot of ketchup when he eats French fries. Don't use too much salt. It isn't good for you. Sarah used up all the eggs when she made breakfast this morning. How much sugar did you use to make your cookies? I like to use fresh ginger and garlic when making Chinese food. Of course, the word use is often applied when talking about grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Are you good at using irregular verbs? It's necessary to learn how to use adjectives and adverbs properly. When spelling words that end in a Y, use an I instead of a Y if those words are plural or in the past tense. You should always use a period at the end of a statement and a question mark at the end of a question. As a noun, the pronunciation for this word changes to use. This is an important difference. A cell phone has many different uses. Do you use a cell phone? I had no use for an English book, so I gave it to one of my students. The use of a dictionary is helpful when you study. Useless. When something is useless, it's no longer needed, it isn't helpful, it's damaged, or it's too old. The information we got from the old book was outdated and useless. An umbrella is useless during a heavy thunderstorm with high winds. This cell phone is useless without the battery. The man's legs were useless when an accident left him paralyzed from the waist down. Some people say that trivia is useless knowledge. The word useless is often used to describe a situation. Talking to him is useless because he won't listen. It's useless to shovel snow during a blizzard. Trying to rescue survivors after the earthquake seemed useless, but people tried anyway. When the soldiers saw the size of the opposing army, they realized it was useless to fight, so they surrendered. The word uselessness is a noun. The uselessness of digging with a shovel quickly became apparent when they hit solid rock. The woman felt a sense of uselessness after she lost her eyesight, but then she learned to adapt to her new situation. The uselessness of war is evident throughout human history, yet countries continue to fight against each other. Vice. The word vice is used in a few very different ways. Used as a noun, a vice is a device that holds materials together, or a vice compresses materials. A small vice is also called a clamp. A person who has a headache might say that it feels like his head is in a vice. Sometimes the word vice refers to a habit or an activity that is harmful for a person's health, or a vice has some sort of ethical considerations. Gambling, for example, is considered a vice, especially when a person gambles regularly or desperately. This type of a vice could lead to a big loss of money. The consumption of alcohol is considered a vice, especially when it leads to intoxication. Smoking is definitely a vice, but some people have a hard time giving it up. This type of vice leads to diseases of the body. Police officers regularly deal with vice. Police officers who specialize in vice might work on a vice squad. Finally, the word vice is used to indicate a position within an organization. A vice president, for example, serves under a president. There are vice presidents for companies and governments. If the leader of an organization can't complete his or her duties for some reason, the vice president can step in and take charge. Vicious. A thing or a person that is vicious is very mean or extremely cruel and dangerous. The man was a victim of a vicious attack. A vicious storm killed dozens of people. Melinda felt humiliated by a vicious rumor about her and another coworker. Two boys got into a vicious fight on the playground. The vicious battle in northern Syria lasted several days. Living in poverty creates a vicious cycle that's hard to break, but there's hope through education. The adverb form for this word is viciously. During the debate, the candidates viciously attacked each other's reputation in a verbal exchange. Slaves who worked on American plantations were beaten viciously or killed if they ever tried to escape. Victory. The word victory is very similar to the word win when it's used as a noun. Sporting events, wars, and other forms of competition usually result in some kind of victory for one side or the other. Jose led his team to victory this season. Natalia loves the taste of victory. The people of Libya celebrated their victory over the fall of a brutal dictator. They couldn't wait until the victory was certain. Victory will be mine. When this word is in the form of an adjective, it becomes victorious. It was a tough match, but in the end, our team was victorious. Once the battle concluded, the victorious army did not harm the people of the city. The victorious team claimed the trophy. A person who wins is a victor. It was a tough fight, but it was obvious to all who the victor was. To the victor go the spoils. Video. You can use this word as a noun or as an adjective, and some people even use it as a verb. Cindy put all of her children's performances on video. We have a lot of stuff on video. Do you have a video camera? Did you get that on video? Videos are often made for corporate presentations. The instructions for the employees are on video. Video games are a popular form of entertainment. Some police officers wear video cameras and record their daily encounters with the public. Music videos became very popular in the early 1980s with the rise of MTV. Videos on just about any subject are easily found on YouTube. View. To view something is to look at it. This word can be used as a noun or as a verb. Television programs are viewed on a TV. It's also possible to view programs on a computer, a tablet, or a cell phone. The people who watch the programs are called viewers. To get a better view of something, you need to get closer to it. People who sit in the front rows of a theater have a better view of the stage than those who sit in the back rows. People who stay at hotels along a beach want to have a view of the water. You can get a better view of the moon by looking at it through a telescope. A viewfinder is the thing that you look through on telescopes, binoculars, and cameras. Office workers who work in skyscrapers usually have a great view of a city. The word view is also used when describing an opinion or the way a person thinks about an issue. Some people have very strong political views. What are your views on the role of government? Do your friends or family members share your views? A person who is suspected of theft is viewed with suspicion by those who make the accusation. A majority of people take a dim view of thieves. How do you view the people who lead the country in which you live? Violent. Something that is violent involves action that can cause physical or mental harm. Fighting, killing, and torture are all violent actions. The word violent is an adjective. Vanessa doesn't allow her children to watch violent movies. The man across the street has a very violent temper. He scares everyone. A violent storm knocked down trees and power lines. The word violently is an adverb. The people in the street violently protested against the action of the police. The woman at the McDonald's acted violently when she was unable to get her chicken nuggets. The word violence is a noun. Children should not be exposed to too much violence on TV or in real life. The violence in Syria has resulted in the death of thousands of people, most of them civilians. Some people resort to violence in addressing their problems.